My husband said, "Trust me with our savings, I'm investing it." By New Year's, he'd gambled away $80,000. When I found out, he blamed me for not being supportive of his dreams. I left with nothing. "Hey, Reddit. Trust me with our savings, I'm investing it," he said, his eyes gleaming with that reckless excitement I'd seen too many times before. I froze, the words hitting me like a punch to the gut. Our savings, everything we'd scraped together for a future, a house, maybe kids someday, wasn't just money to me. It was security, a buffer against the chaos of life. If he lost it, we'd be back to square one, or worse, drowning in debt. And there he was, standing in our kitchen, grinning like he'd just cracked the code to easy wealth. I was 33, married to him for 5 years, living in a modest apartment in the suburbs of a mid-sized city. We'd built a life together, or so I thought, but this felt like the moment it all started unraveling. It began innocently enough, or at least that's how he framed it. We'd met at a friend's barbecue back when I was still figuring out my career in graphic design. He was charming, funny, with a smile that could light up a room. His name was, well, I won't say it here, but let's just call him the guy who promised the world and delivered heartache. We clicked right away, shared laughs over beers, late-night talks about dreams. He worked in sales, always on the move, always chasing the next big thing. I was the steady one, the planner, the one who paid the bills on time. Our wedding was small, just us and a handful of friends at a park. It was perfect, or so I told myself. But looking back, there were signs. He'd talk about opportunities that sounded too good to be true, side hustles, investments, get-rich-quick schemes. I'd brush them off, thinking it was just his entrepreneurial spirit. "You're the dreamer," I'd say, kissing him goodnight. "I'm the one who keeps us grounded." A few months into our marriage, he started pushing harder. "Babe, I found this app for day trading. It's foolproof. Let me handle our emergency fund, $10,000 to start. Trust me, I'll double it in a month." I hesitated, but he was persuasive. "You always say you believe in me. This is my chance to make something of myself, not just sell insurance forever." Against my better judgment, I agreed. It was our money, after all, joint accounts and all that. At first, it seemed fine. He'd show me charts on his phone, talking excitedly about stocks and crypto. "See? Up 20% already." I'd nod, feeling a mix of pride and worry. But then the updates slowed. He'd dodge questions with, "It's volatile, but long-term, it's gold." I let it slide, focusing on my own work deadlines. We were happy, or at least I thought we were. Dates nights, movie marathons, the occasional weekend getaway. He was affectionate, attentive, until he wasn't. By fall, things shifted. He was staying up late, glued to his laptop. I'd wake up to find him asleep at the desk, empty coffee cups scattered around. "Just working on some strategies," he'd say, but his eyes were bloodshot, his hands shaky. I asked if everything was okay. Better than okay. We're on the verge of a breakthrough. I wanted to believe him. We talked about buying a house, starting a family. This was supposed to be the key. Thanksgiving rolled around, and he insisted on hosting. "Family tradition," he said, even though neither of us had much family left. It was just us, a few friends, and a turkey that burned because he was too distracted. Over dinner, he clinked his glass. "To new beginnings. I've got big plans for us." I smiled, but inside, a knot tightened. That night, after everyone left, I checked our account. The $10,000 was still there, untouched. Relief washed over me. Maybe I was overreacting. But Christmas was different. He bought me a fancy watch, way out of our budget. "Early Christmas bonus for my investments," he winked. I laughed it off, but when I logged into the bank app later, the balance was lower. Not by much, $2,000 gone. "What happened?" I asked casually over breakfast. He shrugged. "Market dip. It'll bounce back. Trust the process." I nodded, but doubt crept in. Still, I didn't push. We exchanged gifts under the tree, kissed, and pretended everything was fine. New Year's Eve, He planned a party at home. "Let's ring in the new year with style," he said, ordering champagne and decorations. I helped set up, feeling hopeful. Maybe this year would be better. As midnight approached, he pulled me aside. "I need to tell you something. I've been working on a bigger investment. Used some of our savings, $20,000, but it's going to pay off huge. Trust me." My heart sank. "How much?" I asked, voice steady. He hesitated. "All of it. The full $80,000 emergency fund. But babe, this is it. We're talking life-changing money." I stared at him, the room spinning. "You gambled at all?" "On what?" He laughed nervously. "Not gambling, investing. High risk, high reward. Sports betting, actually. I know a guy who knows a guy. It's a sure thing." The words hit like ice water. Gambling. Not stocks, not crypto. He'd turned our nest egg into a bet. I felt sick. "How could you? That's everything we have." He grabbed my hands. "I know it sounds crazy, but I had a hot streak. Lost a bit, but I'm in for the win tonight. Just trust me." The party guests arrived, and I plastered on a smile. But inside, I was crumbling. By 1 a.m., he was on his phone, pacing. Come on, he muttered. Then his face fell. "Shit." He looked at me, pale. "It didn't pan out. But it's okay, we'll rebuild." I demanded to see the account. The balance, zero. $80,000 gone. Poof. Vanished into thin air. I confronted him right there, in the living room, guests oblivious in the next room. "You lost everything? Our savings, our future." He snapped back, defensive. "It's not my fault. You never supported my dreams. Always playing it safe, holding me back. If you'd been more encouraging, maybe I'd have done better." The accusation stung. Blame me? For his choices? Tears welled up. "This is on you. You lied. You risked it all without telling me." He shook his head. "You're just mad because you're not the hero. I was trying to make us rich." The argument escalated. He called me unsupportive, said I emasculated him by questioning his ideas. I yelled back, "This isn't about support. It's about responsibility. You gambled away our life." He stormed out, slamming the door. The party fizzled, friends leaving awkwardly. I sat alone, staring at the empty champagne glasses, wondering how we'd gotten here. The next morning, hungover and hollow, he apologized half-heartedly. "I'm sorry, okay? I'll get a second job, pay it back." But the damage was done. I couldn't look at him without seeing the betrayal. Over the next week, we fought constantly. He'd say, "If you loved me, you'd understand my passion." I'd retort, "Passion doesn't excuse stupidity." He brought up old grievances, how I was too controlling, how I never let him have fun. "Remember when I wanted to quit my job and travel? You shut that down." That sparked memories. Early in our relationship, he'd floated the idea of selling everything and backpacking Europe. "Live spontaneously," he'd said. I'd countered with, "We need stability. Bills don't pay themselves." He pouted, but dropped it. Then there was the time he wanted to buy a motorcycle on a whim. Adventure, he called it. I said no, citing safety and finances. He accused me of being boring. I thought it was just differences, not red flags. Now, with the money gone, those moments felt like warnings I'd ignored. I started sleeping on the couch, avoiding his touch. He begged, "Let's fix this." Counseling, anything. But trust was shattered. I contacted a lawyer friend discreetly. "Can I leave with nothing? We have joint debt now." She advised carefully. "Community property laws vary, but if it's all gone, you might walk away clean, but broke." By mid-January, I couldn't take it. He came home from work, ranting about a new opportunity in online poker. "This time, it's different." I cut him off. "No, we're done." He laughed bitterly. "You're leaving because of this? You're the one who wasn't supportive of my dreams." I packed a bag, clothes, my laptop, nothing else. The apartment was in his name, furnished with our shared stuff. I'd start over. As I walked out, he yelled, "You'll regret this." I was going to win it all back. I didn't look back. The door clicked shut, and I was alone on the street, $50 in my pocket, No place to go. A friend let me crash on their couch. What happened? They asked. I spilled it all, sobbing. He blamed me, said I wasn't supportive. The fallout was brutal. I filed for divorce, citing financial irresponsibility. He contested, claiming I abandoned him. Court was messy. He painted me as the villain, the nag who stifled his ambitions. I testified about the gambling, the lies. The judge sided with me on the debt split, but since the money was gone, it was symbolic. I got alimony for a year, enough to rent a room. He kept the apartment, bitter and alone. Months later, I ran into a mutual friend. He's spiraling, they said, still betting, deeper in debt. I felt a pang of sadness, not for him, but for the man I thought he was. We were supposed to grow old together, not in like this. I threw myself into work, therapy, rebuilding. Dated cautiously, learned to trust my instincts. Now, a year out, I'm in a new city, new job, new life. The scars remain, nightmares about empty bank accounts, arguments that echo. But I'm stronger. I tell this story not for pity, but as a warning. Trust is earned, not demanded. Dreams are great, but not at the expense of reality. And if someone blames you for their failures, walk away. You deserve better. Looking back, it wasn't just the money. It was the erosion of us. He'd always been the risk taker, me the anchor. But anchors need respect too. When he said, "Trust me," I did blindly. Never again. If you're in a similar spot, listen to that gut feeling. Don't let love blind you to betrayal. I left with nothing material, but I gained my freedom. And that's priceless.